Thanks to those joining me live and to those that be joining us here on the archive, hit that like button. All right.
Hit the like.
Hey, we're going to send the archive, hit the like, share this on our social media platform. Tag us at In the Ring Christine or
I like that. You said social media.
that's right, social media. That's right.
Yeah, there you
You
social
know, on
media.
whatever you rep. If you're team TikTok, if you're team Instagram, team
Mm-hmm.
X, team Twitter, whatever you want to call it, all the above, we're all here, and it's
Yep.
all good. Okay.
Yep. Let's
Um,
go.
let's go ahead and get this show on the road. By the way, hit the like button, guys, and share it. And you could tag us. You know, especially on Twitter. I'll retweet it. I don't know if Christine will retweet it, but I'll
Of
retweet it.
course I will. I love my chat. I love everybody in the chat. We have the
You know what I mean?
best
You get
chat
that
ever.
retweet. You know what I mean? And
I'll
and
retweet. I'll
and
definitely
if you
retweet.
share the show and you tag me, I will follow you on Twitter. Okay, but you got to
Absolutely, I will
tag.
too. I will definitely, if you tag me and retweet, I will definitely follow you on Twitter
But
X.
here's some things that's sick for seeing. Like some people say this, yeah, but I only have like 4 followers on Twitter. Like it's not.
I
Why
don't
should I share it for
care.
what? It doesn't matter if those 4 people watches. It's all good. You know what I
If
mean?
you have four or -4, or if you have 4,000 or 4 million, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
We don't care.
it all adds up at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And we definitely appreciate it. No matter all the support, we always appreciate it. Man, make no mistake about it. At least I do. I don't know about Christine, but I definitely
Of
appreciate
course I do. I
it.
appreciate it more than you do.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Jesus M in the building.
Jesús, saludos.
And he started right with the first topic. The Palace did very well versus Inoue. He got
He did.
stopped in the 10th after 2 right hands. They were kind of a little bit blocked, but it's still, Inoue has that type of power. Even when he doesn't hit you 100%, you still feel it. Just
Absolutely.
accurate puncher.
It goes
Tapales,
through the gloves. It goes through. It goes through.
it just goes through because she knows. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Christine doesn't even want to work the mitts with it in a way. Like, whoa.
Hey,
You know
I
what I mean?
will. I'm up
Yeah.
for a challenge. I
That's all.
love it.
But actually, real quick, is it easier to do it with the pros and people that don't know what they're doing?
So I don't like I'm at a point in my career where and I'm not, going to I'm not patting myself on the back, but I'm
Pat
at a
yourself.
point in my career where I don't take really like beginners or people that don't know what they're
Just
doing
me patting you on the back.
because I've done that. I've already paid my dues. So usually when I do mitts, I'm doing mitts with the elites and with pros. So I've already been hit many many times
Damn.
by people that are just starting. I mean, and sometimes with elites and with pros, but they know what they're doing. So I don't even go there right now at this point in my career.
There you go. There you go. And in a way, wins and not. It's not just his second win of the year and all that.
Hmm.
2-time undisputed.
Hmm.
Only him and Crawford in the 4 belt era have been a 2-time undisputed champion, two
Well,
different weight classes.
they too, but we also have a female,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
and and
Well,
and, and
Katie Taylor and Clarissa Shields. Yeah.
yes, so Katie Taylor and Clarissa Shields, absolutely. So we have two men and two women. We can't forget
Right.
the women.
No, we're not forgetting the women. We're just talking about the men at the moment. You know what I mean?
Oh, oh, okay. Are we?
I'm just putting that out there. You know what I mean? I'm just putting that out there. But nonetheless, in a way, however, is the first one to do it within a 12-month span.
Okay.
And he did it quick. That's for sure.
Hmm.
So here he is, undisputed 122-pound champion. Those that don't know, he actually did interviews afterwards saying, "Yo, I'm not going anywhere right now. I'm not moving up yet. I got some unfinished. He still got some. There's rumors out there he's going to fight Neri next. So prayers for
Hmm.
Neri. But Neri's a good fighter. I just don't think he could beat Inoue. But
Yeah, that'll be a good fight. But yeah, I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
um, you know, Tapales, he gave him. I was like only able to watch like halfway through. I'm not gonna, say that I
sure.
saw the whole fight. I think I got to the sixth round, but he's a tough guy. Topas was a tough guy, and there was
Tough
even
kid.
I think a time, I don't know if it was the fifth or sixth round, that he had in a way, like, against the ropes, and it was a very, I think it was a very competitive fight. I really do.
It was a really competitive fight, at least decently competitive, I should say.
Yeah,
Tapales
yeah,
did some good work. It
yes.
just as the rounds progressed,
Hmm.
you saw the difference in levels. The more
Yeah,
the fight
I'm gonna
continued,
finish it after the show for sure.
and in a way gets the big stoppage. Offensively looked really good. There might be some things we can criticize defensively, but you're not going to go through every fight and not getting hit. Like it is what it
Absolutely not.
is.
It's boxing.
Yeah, we saw the pilots put hands on MJ
Hmm.
just a couple months ago. So pulled that big upset. We saw how good MJ is just last week. So this is a really good fighter in Tapales. It's just that this was a good fighter versus a great fighter, and we got the result that we got.
Absolutely.
I'm just amazed that Tapales put up a little bit of a better fight than Fulton. I think Fulton's a better fighter than Tapales, but
Do you? Do you really?
Fulton's
So you
good.
think Fulton is a better fighter than Topales? I
I do. Yeah.
do not think that.
What?
I do not.
Okay.
Fulton stays on the ropes too much. I'm not a huge fan. I don't want to say I think he was a hype job, but I think that people said he was better than he actually was.
He was a unified champion. He beat
He just
Figueroa.
Yes, he did. Yes,
Although
yes,
I
he
thought
did. But
Figueroa
but
won the
hold
fight.
on. But yes, he did get his hand raised against Figueroa.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, he did not beat him.
And to your
My
credit, he was
opinion.
in the ropes too much in that fight, and
Absolutely.
that allowed Figueroa to tee off. I scored it for him,
Yes.
but the
You
judges saw
scored it
something
for
else.
Fulton or
No, no,
Figueroa?
no. I scored it for Figueroa,
Same.
but
I did too. I mean,
it,
I don't think
yeah.
it was like by major. It wasn't major, but he did, I think, edge it out. Like, so I'm
Yeah.
not, really sold.
Okay, fair enough. But
Hmm.
either way, it'll be both of them, right?
He did.
But Stoppage, he's now undisputed champion. I mean, what a performance by Inoue. Right now, I like the decision to stay at 122. I think this
Hmm.
idea of just weight jumping and
Yeah,
he's going to bite off more than he could chew. It doesn't matter how great he is if he just moves up quickly. Um, so
I
I
agree.
think he should maybe settle in that weight class for one or two fights at least before he
Hmm.
decides to move up. Do you like the decision?
I did not, like I said, I only got to, like, I believe, the sixth round, but I mean, I did have him winning every single round, up until then. So, and then he got stopped. What round was it?
Tenth.
11 or so? Absolutely. I mean, he is phenomenal. He is a monster. And but I do agree with you about the weight jumping. I think that this is a good weight for him, and he is small, even though he's very strong, very powerful. But as you move up, the power kind of diminishes if you move up too much. And he, even though he does have very good boxing skills, I think his major power is his power. I think that he's very strong. So I agree with you about not moving up
Now I don't know
for
if you
right now.
saw. I don't know if you saw this post. I actually just saw it right before we went live. Um, it was posted on Instagram by the Rise podcast. Rise is spelled Rize. The Rise podcast, and they have this image of Tank Davis versus Inoue, right?
Mm.
I just want to give a shout out to Tank who put a comment on this post,
Oh,
and
did he?
he said the following: "I'm not fighting him. He's nowhere near my weight. I don't know why this page keeps posting shit like this." Tank Davis is a lightweight. He's fought up to 140 pounds. Inoue is a 122 pounder on his like fourth, fifth weight class.
Yeah,
It's
who's
kind of,
yeah
it's
moved
kind of,
up very
yeah,
many times. Yeah,
yeah, it's kind of ridiculous to be talking
yeah,
about that
yeah,
fight. So,
yeah. And I've seen a lot of posts lately like that where people are matching up people that are in totally different weight classes.
mm,
And I just feel like, kudos to anyone that wants to start, a podcast, that wants to start a boxing page. Like, The more people involved, is amazing because that's more pay-per-view buys, that's more ticket sales. But do your research. Nobody is just born and knows everything. We've all had to experience things, do our research. So that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. Well, just shout out to Tank. He didn't go along with it, so it is what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, exactly.
No way.
And and,
Yeah,
and Tate's gotten a lot of people coming at him lately, so he was calm.
Well,
He
look.
didn't he didn't entertain it.
We always report the bad, but we also got to report the good.
Absolutely.
He bought some property in his hometown. He brought
Hmm.
like to and they're going to be investing in some affordable housing.
Yeah,
Did you get a chance to hear about that while
I
you were on
did. I
vacation?
did. And it was fabulous. It is fabulous. And then I know tragedy hit.
I don't know if it's a tragedy or someone was being an asshole, one or the other, but
Well, no, it's a tragedy either way, if they're being
yeah.
assholes or if it was accidental. It's a tragedy because he's doing something that I believe that all of us have to do. We all start from somewhere, ground zero. And once we start doing things to benefit ourselves, we need to go back to the community that raised us and give back, in my opinion.
Now, not to dive too much into the tank thing, but I agree with what you said. However, what happened, I believe anyway, is a reason why a lot of people don't end up going back to give back to the community where they started because stuff like that happens. And people that do stuff like that are big. They're a big detriment to their own community. And I don't know, man. I just there's a lot of they just call them evil forces out there in the world that
Hmm.
want to keep things the way they are and don't want to see good things happen for people. Like if they're misery loves
Sure,
company, they want to keep it that
sure,
way.
sure.
But hopefully they could overcome it and continue the project that they had planned for the better good. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely, because just like in the ring, life is a battle. It's competitive, and the thing is that just because there's a few bad apples or people that do stupid shit doesn't mean that we stop doing good. That's why, whenever you get your grown pants on, and you invest, you get insurance. You know what I mean? And you know who did it, you let the law handle it, and then you start again and you do it again. You don't let people with a negative agenda win. You don't do that.
right. Yeah, that's 100%. And speaking of people doing heroic things, look, Inoue is a superstar in Japan. I mean,
Absolutely.
I've seen people post footage of they're out at the fight, so some media members, and you see posters of Inoue in the
Hmm.
subway and
Absolutely.
downtown, and I mean, it's crazy how popular he is, right?
And that's huge because they don't do stuff like that so much in Japan. Because everything's very clean, very, it's huge.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I'm surprised that no one's yanked the posters off the thing. Like, what's going on over
Yeah,
here? Like,
or allowed it to be hung,
you
because they're
know.
very clean, very nothing, no
Well,
advertisement, stuff like
I
that.
guess when I'm saying post, I don't mean like they're putting Tic Tacs on the.
No,
They're like
yeah, no.
professionally post.
Professionally, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. When I went, I didn't see things like that. So I think it's
send away.
amazing. Yeah,
You know what
he's
I
a
mean?
superhero. Superhero. Iceman said, "Yo, boy, Jamel Herring did a great job commentating. He did. Shout out to Jamel Herring because he did a fabulous job, and he always does.
Yeah,
Because I believe, him being a fighter and having that perspective, although there are other commentators that have not, and they're very good too. I just
yeah,
think that he did a fabulous job. So shout out to Jamel Herring for sure.
yeah. Jamal Herring and Christina Pantra always do a great job.
Oh,
Um,
Christina, that's my girl.
yeah,
She's just kicking ass. Absolutely.
sure. I personally, this is my opinion. I like it better than the main broadcast with Timothy Bradley and Joe Tessitore and them. God bless them, but
I, I,
I'm
I
just
I
saying.
love Jamel and I love Christina, that's for sure.
But God bless Tim Bradley, right? I mean, I'm just putting that
Of
out there.
course, God
Okay, okay.
bless the whole world.
Yeah, that's right. But Great job by them, and great job by Inoue, big superstar in Japan. Let me ask you
Yes,
this: like,
congratulations.
as big as he is over there, like the reason Fulton was willing to go over there was because he got, I think it was like 3 or 4 million to go fight Inoue over there. That was his career high payday. Made all the sense
Yeah,
in the world. And not only
absolutely.
that, he was treated like a king over there. I mean, he arrived, they greeted him in the airport, they wanted his autograph. He got swamped by people. When you fight Inoue, you're going to be his opponent. Like
Look,
people.
let me tell you, the Japanese people are amazing people. I went over there during COVID,
Mhm.
and all the news media outlets that I saw here in the United States talked about how the Japanese people did not want us to come over, to Tokyo for the Olympics or even to go train. It was totally false. False. They absolutely loved the American people, treated us fabulous. I got gifts almost every single day, and I wasn't the only one. There was a group of us over there, obviously, but the Japanese people will greet you with open arms and respect, whether you're fighting their Superman or not. They have so much respect and so much love, and they're some of my favorite people ever.
Look, I agree that I haven't been to Japan, but it's not just you. A lot of people say the same thing. Like an overwhelming
Hmm.
amount of people that go over there,
Yes.
from fighters, MMA fighters, boxers, you name it, they all say the same thing. Like it's overwhelming. I never heard anybody say,
Overwhelming.
"Oh," I actually never heard a fighter say, "Man, they're terrible. They're treating me like shit." Never heard it.
No,
Like you know what
no,
I
no.
mean?
They're fabulous people.
Absolutely. Do you think there's any incentive? I would love to see watch Inoue live. I would. I would love
Oh,
for him to
yeah.
come over here.
Hmm.
But is there really any reason for him to come fight over here?
There's really not. I mean, it would have to be, I think, a bigger payday than he's gotten. But then you have to question: does he fight for the payday, or does he fight because this is his
I mean, he
his
makes a
drug?
lot of money, Christine.
He does, and who could pay him more? But also,
Man,
it's his drug. I mean, he said he does not take tune-up fights because he wants to be in the big fights. He wants that adrenaline rush. So this is his high, and where is he going to get that more than with his own people? You know?
I mean, even if you're the foreign fighter, like, you still get treated like royalty over there. So, like, even
Yeah.
his opponent shouldn't really have. Like,
No.
Fulton was
I would
saying he was treated better over there than in his own hometown.
I believe it. I do believe it. I do.
Just like
I do
it's
believe
crazy.
it. I do. I do.
He came back like, yo, where's all the love been all these years for me? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But Larry Liston, shout out to you. What impressed me about Inoue is not just that he keeps winning, but that he somehow gets better and better with each fight. I want to
I
address that in
agree.
a moment, but let me just go over some other people here. Iceman, again, no reason for Inoue to come to corrupt America. Man. Shout out to Maestro A, aka Milcar, says, salute to
Maestro,
Christine and to D Style. Shout out to you, brother. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
El Pinche. Shout out to you. I know who that's addressing, but I'm not going to go there. Nando Yamas in the building. Shout out to Nando. Tapales was the worst, quote unquote, unified champion since Julius Ndongo, who stood in front
Oh,
of Inoue like a punching bag.
oh shit.
But Inoue said he's better than Fulton. I'll say this, bro. He looked like a punching bag when he fought MJ, and he was jabbing him all night in the face. Right? Like I'm just saying, Masters, the Japanese respect fighters. They have a very respectful culture. I wish the U.S.
Yes.
was more like Japan. To be honest, if the U.S. was Japan, like our streets would be clean. Okay, if
Oh,
Tank Davis bought property, there wouldn't be some idiot like
no.
turning it on fire. You know
No
what I
loud
mean?
music, no loud cars, no yelling, no screaming, no
And
graffiti.
I
Can I
would
go
be
on?
banned with my foul mouth. They're like, get out of here. You know what I mean?
Well, you
I'd
just
be
couldn't
out. There'll be
publicly
no
do
visa.
it.
But here's the
You wouldn't
thing.
get gum on your shoes.
That's right. I wouldn't be like. You think I could get away with bottles in my pants in Japan?
Oh,
That ain't gonna happen. They're
you,
not gonna allow that.
yeah, yeah.
They were listening. Tapales was a fine fighter. Watch the fight against MJ and watch how he dismantled him over time. Tapales is all right. In a way, it just made him look
I
average.
agree. I agree with you, Larry Liston. I agree.
To the comment about, you know, getting better with each fight, I remember, because I've come full circle with it in a way. You know what I mean? If I go back to 2017, I knew Inoue was a good fighter, but I had questions. You know, I was like, well,
Really?
like
Tell me more.
I felt like he had very little respect for his opponents, like threat wise, and would get hit
It
more
will.
than I
It.
felt.
Okay.
But
Okay.
he would
Okay.
get hit a little more. I feel like his defense has got like, I don't know if it got better or he just started using his defense, one or the other.
Or they just couldn't hit.
But here's the thing, because he would get hit. That's the thing.
No, he did get hit.
But
Absolutely.
the first Donaire fight, when he went in there with a veteran like Donaire, and
Yeah, that was great.
Donaire was huge for the weight class, went back down to
Yeah.
118, right? Donaire damaged his orbital bone. I don't know
Yeah.
if it was a fracture. I don't know how
Yeah.
serious it was, but I know the
Was that
his
the
eyes still look.
Muhammad Ali tournament,
Yes,
right?
that was a tournament, and look,
Yeah, I was there.
he beat Donero. By the way, it
I
was one of
think.
the best fights I've seen. It was a really good fight, and he dropped him with a body shot,
Yeah.
and I mean it was a back and forth, but it was a clear win for Inoue. Inoue clearly won that fight,
Yes, it was a beautiful fight
but
though.
the eye
Yes.
got messed up, right?
Yes.
And even then, I was like, because I actually predicted that Inoue would win, but Donero would give him a tough fight, and people thought I was
Mhm.
crazy, right?
Mhm.
But after that fight, I don't know if it's because of what happened to his orbital bone. I, this is a theory. I'm not in his head. I don't know this for a fact. This is just what I think. But I believe, um, and I believe this. I think he reflected and said, "I can't be just this. I can't be dismissive of dude's punches just because I could
Sure.
take them."
Sure.
I think he
Absolutely.
was
They
willing
add
to
up.
trade. Yeah, he was willing to trade because he's the big puncher and he was confident in his power. But
Mhm.
he started to fight smarter after that. And
Yeah.
now it's you saw the Fulton fight. Fulton gonna lay a glove on him. Like
No.
it is what it is. Look, he's making Tapales look average. Some people talking about how he got hit. There's not a mark on his face.
Right. Right.
Like I'm just saying that. Like you see Tapales' face. Tapales looks
Yeah.
like
And when people say like he got hit or whatever, the way that I interpret that, like, did he get hit? Like, was there marks on his face? Of course, you're going to get touched a little bit because it's boxing, But did he get hit? No, he didn't get hit.
yeah. It's very interesting. Master says Inoue is fighter of the year in my opinion. Man,
That
hey,
Maestro, I can see why you're saying that, and I think he's
here we go.
definitely
Here we
for
go.
me number two. He sounds like here we go. Number one for me is Crawford. I'm gonna tell you why.
Because he's a
Because
cool person.
because he beat in most people's eyes, in most newspapers and lists,
You know, newspapers
the
anymore.
pound
Just
for
come
pound.
on.
Okay, Neil, I'm old
Websites,
school.
websites,
Okay,
websites.
websites, and
What's going on?
podcasts. Um, and not only that, for the sanctioning bodies, the pound for pound king
It,
in Errol Spence. And so I see what you're saying. And yes,
I'm gonna
in a
let you
way,
finish
fought.
that point. But do you still buy newspapers?
I never did buy newspapers,
Okay,
okay?
okay, gotcha.
Unless I was in it.
I'm
I'm
just
just
making
saying.
sure.
For
Okay.
my gym. I mean, do they sell them anymore? Do they?
I don't know actually. It's a good question.
I think you can get them online. Just saying.
Okay.
But that is why for me, he's number two and Crawford is number one.
All right.
Just that's my opinion.
Before we get to that, long live boxing. What's up with the panel?
My guys,
Respect to the entire chat. Shout out to the
how you
long live boxing,
doing?
and shout out to Manny Marrero, who's been nominated for
Eso.
En Vivo. Like that dude. Everybody knows who he is. Um, He's been nominated for one of the best for best panelists of the year for the male. So we'll see how the
Oh,
voting goes. The voting
wonderful.
starts. And by the way,
Oh
Christine
my
has been
gosh.
nominated as well
Yes, but not for male,
for female.
for
Exactly.
female.
Yeah,
Of
of
course.
course.
Everybody vote for me. Everybody vote for Christine.
That's right. Um, Larry Liston, only guy to beat in a way is someone with the longer reach who can outwork him and make him miss and who has enough power to hold him back. Rafael Espinosa is the only guy that might upset him. You mentioned them to me earlier, Christine. Rafael
Yes.
Espinosa was like an 8-1. That's so crazy. Like 12. Actually, I think it was like 12-1. If anybody knows, remembers the odds posted, they were wide.
hmm
I think
hmm
it was 11-1, 12-1. I could be
It
wrong,
was
but
crazy.
so he
Freaking
goes in there, right?
crazy.
First of
Yes.
all, he fucked up my parlay. That's number one,
I'm
right?
sorry, bro.
But it is what it is. But he goes. I mean, he just overwhelms this. Robesi Ramirez
The
to the
two-time
point.
gold medalist,
Look, he's
yes.
got no choice but to fight back. Like the
Yeah.
gold medals have to be like, I just can't box this dude. I'm gonna have to fight him back, and he
No.
did. You know,
hmm
and then went back and forth, Christine, and then like in the middle of the fight, like Robesi knocked him down, and it looked like he was gonna take over.
His legs were gone, and then the bell rung. Thank God.
But then, no, okay, he's gonna take over now. He's gonna box him. The guy's gonna slow down, but he never slowed down. Like he just
Hey,
kept coming. Like he was like the Energizer Bunny. Just
but
kept.
look, listen. So you said that Robesi wanted to box Ramirez. Ramirez can freaking box and he can bang. He's long. He's
Espinosa, yeah,
strong.
Espinosa.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Espinosa. I'm sorry. Yes,
Of
and he
course,
was
yeah.
he did amazing. He did absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to see what is gonna come of this.
Or we're gonna get a rematch. The Cuban is his rematch.
Mm, mm-mm.
You know what I mean? You don't think you can beat
Yeah,
him in a
yeah.
rematch?
I don't think he can. I think Espinosa is going to gain
Look,
more confidence.
I think it's like Robesi was not ready for a swarmer like that. A guy that
He
was going to keep throwing. He just wasn't ready for it.
he could switch. Yes, he got caught when he switched one time because he kept he
Yeah,
dropped his
but
left hand,
do
but
you
he can
remember?
still switch.
Remember when Robesi was countering a Nova?
No, yeah.
And Nova just like he was like, "Whoa, that dude could punch." Like Espinosa
Yes,
just ate those things. Like no, like
he
I mean, he
did.
got knocked down, but like he was still eating those punches. He was like, "What's up? I'm
Well,
still here." He
after he
threw
got
like
knocked down, he was like a newborn deer, like trying to walk.
yeah,
But then he recovered, and you could see that I think it was his right leg that still looked like it was injured. I don't know if he
yeah,
twisted
it
his
was
ankle,
injured.
his knee,
He
but he
fought like with a broken
fought
freaking leg.
through it. But he fought through it.
He fought through it and he wouldn't stop. Like it's like Robesi was waiting for him to get tired. He never got tired.
No,
That's what
no,
like
his
who
he was in
future
condition.
opponents. He's not gonna get tired. Don't wait for
He's
him to get
not.
tired.
He's
Like
not.
you gotta
He
beat him
absolutely
right
not.
away. You know what I mean? But you think Inoue moves up to fight that dude? It's a
I
big
mean,
126 pounder.
he's big, and I don't really.
He's
He doesn't
long.
have to. He doesn't have to. I don't. That would be a tough ass fight. It would.
What about El Venado? El Venado. No, 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 no. Against Espinosa. Mexican versus Mexican. What's up?
Man, I think that would be a fucking amazing
See what
matchup.
Venado said to Urbasi when he lost?
What did he say?
He's like, you were too worried talking about me. You should have worried about my countrymen.
Mm,
You were talking about me the whole week instead of
mm.
the dude. Like, he wasn't focused on the guy who was fighting. He was
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
you
Venado
can't do
Lopez.
that. You can't do that. And anytime, boxers start talking about, opponents that they're going to have later on or possible opponents, and they're not focusing on who's in front of them, I worry about it. I really do. I worry about that.
Long live. I believe that's
Crystal.
Gringo, by the way. I buy the Sunday paper. What's up? He buys it.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Shout out to Crystal, by the way. She says, hey.
Crystal, my girl.
Lolly Boxing has some sense. He says, I agree that Inoue's fighter of the year. That's what's up. Iceman, if you go by just stats, Inoue beats Crawford hands down. Damn, Nando
Oh,
Llamas, Inoue, Haney, and then Crawford number 3. Number
okay.
tres. Putting Haney above him, Chris
Haney.
says.
Okay. All right. I
You know,
mean,
we
I
got
respect
some
everybody's list and their
5900s
reasons
is
why.
Inoue pound for pound numero uno. You know what I mean? So
We
not.
all have our own reasonings and our own list and why.
No, that's true. Look, he says, watch the fights from last night closely. I'm not sure that Inoue's power translates to featherweight. He took a lot of clean punches from the palace to finally go down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only halfway through. I'm on round six, but I mean, I agree. I think this he needs to stay at 22. I think he needs to stay there for a minute before he. I agree. Yeah,
Inoue gets listen. Inoue gets hit with shots here and there, but he
yeah,
does so willingly. Whenever he feels like the power isn't a threat, he chases guys down in the
yeah.
pocket. All right. So
You know, and I have. I've worked with guys and girls that they actually like it's an adrenaline rush to get hit. It's like I need to get hit one good time to like get me going, like the Energizer Bunny, and it's not smart, but there are people like that, and in a way might be one of those people. Like I need to feel your power, I need to feel what you have, and then we get the party started. Um, so though I've worked with people like that, and I'm like, don't fucking do that. But they do it anyway.
J Pitt City says everyone that Inoue fought after Donaire ain't have the firepower that Onito have at that first fight. That version of Donaire stops his next two opponents. First world
Yeah,
title prior in the rematch. Yeah, he knocked out Obali after that. So
yeah.
win
J
the
Pit City, I
WBC.
agree. Yeah,
Man,
Donaire is definitely an OG.
keep Inoue away from Venado or Bronco, says Nando.
Really,
Keep him
Venado.
away. Keep him
Okay,
away. Larry says
okay.
Venado isn't big enough and fast enough to hold Inoue off. His best shot is a puncher's chance. The guy barely beat Joe Gonzalez.
Yeah,
Man,
that's why I'm like Venado. I mean he's great, but
you saw what it did to Colin, right?
yes, but I mean against in a way I don't, you know,
I'm
I
just
don't see
saying.
it.
I'm just saying. Larry
Okay.
Listen says most fighters either have a gift or speed like Manny or power. Very rarely do we see fighters with both those attributes. He's a rare gem in boxing. In 30 plus years, they will be talking about this guy. Look, he
Mhm.
does have, he's explosive. He has speed and power. And that cannot be ignored.
No.
Um, good fighter, great fighter, actually.
Yes. Absolutely.
And look, fight a year is subjective. It depends on what you're looking for.
Absolutely subjective.
Um,
Absolutely.
but I mean, we all like
But
deep
I mean,
down. Deep
but
down,
I
we know.
mean,
Like we know in the
I
way
mean,
is that dude.
deep down.
Deep down, Christine, like deep down in your soul, right? Like in a way, is that dude.
That's your soul. He is
Okay.
that dude. But deep down in your soul, you
Well,
know
let me
that
give you
he's your number one.
let me give you a category. From 140 pounds and down, is he the best fighter?
Well, okay.
Okay. We're gonna
Okay.
have to create a 140 and down and 154 and up, just
There
for
you
Christine.
go. Well, no. 140 and down, 147 and up.
All right. So in a way, he's the king of the little guys, right?
Absolutely.
He's the king. He's that dude. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he is king of the little guys. Absolutely. He's that dude.
Well,
We do need categories.
by the way, his nickname is Monster. That's been his nickname for years.
Yes, he is a monster.
Isn't like Benavides kind of biting off his nickname? Like he just added Mexican in front of it. Yeah, I'm just
Um,
saying.
I, I mean, I don't know if he's biting off of it. I don't know how long that's been his nickname.
Just
Maybe he had that when he was 4 years old and he was terrorizing, his house or his grandmother or his
Mike Tyson
sister.
called the Mexican Monster. Then it just started going along. But
Well, I
that's
mean,
Inoue's nickname.
then maybe Tyson was the one biting.
I mean, well, what if somebody came out and said, "Oh, my nickname is
In
Mexican
the
Bud"? A Mexican Bud? Like what? Like what? What's going on over here?
or what if you were in the ring with D style?
In the ring with these stuff, like what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I'm just saying, oh, everybody,
yeah.
make sure you tune into In the Ring with these style, like I mean, come on,
I mean, then definitely you're biting.
yeah, for sure. You know, his name is Kerma Moden, the fast track to face Inoue. Look, like that kid's he's a young kid. I saw some people posting, "Oh, Moten's ready for Inoue." Like, wait, what? What's the
Look,
matter
look,
with people?
look. Moulton is very talented, and he is going to be somebody in boxing.
Yeah,
I hope that his handlers move him in a way where he can get more experience, get more rounds,
they will.
because even if you're stronger or faster, you still need those rounds in the ring because these veterans have tricks up their sleeves. You know, they can neutralize what you give to them at times.
Moten is knocking dudes out right now, like at the level of the dude that like Jake Paul just knocked out. Okay,
Right, right. And,
yeah,
and you
I'm
know
just
what? I mean, the matchmakers are smart. I mean, they need to elevate him at a speed and match him up at a speed where he can grow because he is still young. He's a great kid. I mean, young man, I was blessed enough to be able to interview him,
yep.
and he's very mature. He has a great personality, and he wants to box. So it's up to the people around him to move him in a smart way.
He is, and this is like even if they move them fast, at the very least, he's like 3 years away
Yes, I
from
agree.
that. And then by then, is Inoue even going to be boxing still? Is he going to be in that weight class still? Is
Right.
he?
And
Yeah.
these new champions or these up and coming champions, they do get sometimes the champs at the tail end of their career. I mean, how many people have done it before maybe Moten would? How many have done that? It is what it is. And then they're criticized, oh, he was old, he was this, he was that, you should have got him then. Well, they weren't ready to get him then. But
Right.
it does add to the resume. And
Yeah.
that's the business.
How old is he? Like 18?
I think he's 17. I think he's 17. I want to
So
say
so
I know he went pro very young.
let's give him that extra.
Maybe
Let's
18,
say he's
pushing it.
18, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And what world is like people want to throw an 18-year-old in the ring with the Inoue? With,
Because that's just people that don't really know the business
I mean,
or the way things work.
I mean, you know.
They hear someone talking and they see
And here's
someone
another
doing
thing,
well, they already want to
Christine.
put him in there with a big dog.
He's very young, and you know how there's growth spurts. There's like he
Yes.
may outgrow that weight class by the time he's
Look,
ready. I
listen, I believe he's going to definitely outgrow it
mean,
because he's going to get taller. He's going to grow till he's at least 21 in height.
yeah.
And then the girth, the muscles, he's working out every day, and the protein he's intaking and everything else, he's definitely going to grow.
Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Hmm.
Iceman says, "Hey, Mike Tyson calls you a monster. You're a monster."
Hey, whatever Mike Tyson wanted to call me, if I was important enough, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying?
So
I'll take it.
he's like, "You're the Dallas monster." Like you just go around
Then I'll
telling
be
people.
the Dallas Monster,
I don't know
you
about
know?
that.
No, but I'm going to be the
As
Texas Monster.
the stem says, Moda will fight 6 times a year. He'll be very active, and they're going to move him up properly and responsibly. Is what I believe they're going to do.
Yeah,
Uh,
I believe so too. He's with PBC, and I believe that they're going to move him responsibly and smart. I
and
do.
Nando's mentioned, look, they're going to like a lot of the guys saying that stuff. They just want to be the first one to say, "Hey, I said it years ago that this guy's was the truth." Blah blah
Yeah,
blah blah blah. Like, look, I do think it's going to be the truth. I just don't think he's ready at the moment.
right,
You know?
right. No, I mean he's still young. He's still wet behind the ears.
Yeah.
Let him grow. Let him do what he needs to do to get where he needs to be. I mean, why throw him in there? I mean, that's stupid. That's not good business.
It just reminds you of like when Kid Austin and his dad were calling out like the top names like Haney, and he was like 18.
Yeah,
It was all talk. It was, I guess, smart to do it, got him publicity. But at the end of the day, what the Golden Boy do, they moved them up responsibly. Like
yeah,
it is what it is.
absolutely.
The handlers are gonna, they know what they do. There's a reason a lot of these fans out here are not handlers. Okay.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, absolutely. And that's the thing, it's also business. Whenever you invest in someone, as a promoter, you have to get your return plus some, or else why would you do it if you didn't believe in somebody? So you're going to move them the way they need to be moved. And a good manager also,
Yeah.
same thing, that's their livelihood, and they're going to make sure that things are going as they need to be so they can, pay their bills. It is what it is. Simple as
Spe-
that.
Speaking of Iceman, he says off subject. The last day of the year is 12/31/23.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
12/31/23. That is cool. That is cool.
1 2 3 1 2
Yeah.
3 1 2 3.
Nando, don't make fun of me. Who's fighting 6 times a year at PBC? You never know. You never know what they're gonna do with
Yeah,
him.
but his fights don't have to be televised though.
They don't have to be
They could put
televised.
him on some cards. I think they'll keep him active.
Absolutely.
If they don't, then that's a mistake. But
I
I think
believe that
they'll.
they will. I mean, obviously, I don't know for a fact, but I
Now we're
believe
gonna
that
keep
they
an eye
will.
on it. We're gonna keep an eye on it
Yeah,
now.
let's keep an eye on it for
But
sure.
by the way, everybody, check out Christine's sweater. Look at that sweater.
I know.
What's going on there?
Okay, shout out to my sister-in-law, Whitney, my sister. She bought this for me for Christmas. It was so sweet. So, and we're gonna have some merch coming out soon. We're just still working on that. But
I'm gonna call my brother's wife. Like, I didn't get a D style hoodie. Like, what's going on over here? Like
what?
Christine, my sister in law didn't give me anything like that. Like she
Bro,
didn't
I
give me a
can't
D
help it if
style.
I'm loved. I can't
You know what I
help
mean?
it.
What's going on? Like
Hey,
your sister in law is giving you. I'm not getting anything. What's going on?
sorry, bro. I don't know what you've
But
done or haven't done.
there you go. Look, Inoue obviously did his thing. I'm sure he'll have a big 2024. Looks like he'll fight Neri or someone else at 122. There's that Goodman out of Australia. I don't think he's ready at all. Actually, he don't have the firepower to deal with Inoue. He just doesn't. I
And I
saw.
love Australia. I do love Australia, by the way.
I couldn't even do my Australian accent. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like, but
Ooh,
you know,
mate,
hey
mate,
mate.
hey,
But
mate.
the thing with Sam Goodman, he doesn't have any. He doesn't knock anybody out. Like if you can't even knock out your average dude out, what the hell? Like, anyways, gonna laugh at you, bro. Like, I saw No Limit, and shout out to them, but they posted, hey, in a way, Sam Goodman's ready for you. Like,
I
I don't
think
know.
that, and I don't down anybody for what they do, but I
Sure,
think
sure,
a lot of pages and podcasts they'll just like put stuff out just to like get some traction and attention. So you're
sure.
talking about it. So obviously, whatever they did is working.
Whatever they did is working. Well, we'll see where
Yeah.
it goes. But look, if Goodman becomes a mandatory, he deserves a shot. I'm not going to hold him back. I'm just saying I don't think he's going to win. Um, but anyway, moving on. Pun intended.
Anyway or anyway.
Well, I believe that if we want to get technical, it's Inoue. But
Anyway. What
but
about Enohu?
but I just say Inoue. We're in America. Like it's Inoue over
America.
here. You know what I mean?
America.
It's
Yeah, for sure.
Inoue. You know what I mean? We're not gonna say Inui over here. It's Inoue.
Anyway or anyway.
Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, next subject.
Yeah, but we're gonna go from success story to not so success story. Deontay Wilder. I don't know if you heard this, Christine. I want to congratulate him. He went back to school. You know what I mean?
Good for
I don't know if you heard. He went back to like
You're
Joseph Parker
funny. You
took him.
still got jokes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Joseph Parker took Deontay Wilder to school. Like he gave him a boxing lesson. You know what I mean? And it's not every day like someone who's almost 40 goes back to school. You know what I mean?
You're cute. You're
But
cute with that.
look. I don't like to make excuses for fighters. I don't. Okay, and I don't want to take anything away from Joseph Parker. I just don't. First of all, before I even get to that,
But there's always that but.
well,
But
actually, before I even touch on any of that, I want to make sure I don't miss this. Christine, did you get a chance to listen to any of the pre-fight press conference on the lead up? I know you were out there in the seashores of Mexico. You know
I
the
was on the seashores soaking in the sun. So I did not. I did
so
not. I did not. I
so
took a week
just
off.
to just to kind of give you an idea of what happened. So the guy from Queensbury, I don't remember his name, but the one that's doing like the questions at the press conference. He asked Wilder a question, and Wilder's like, "Yeah, Parker, bring your pillow. So it gets cold at night, so you go night night. I'm gonna put you to sleep." He's like, "My nickname's Doctor
And we've heard
Sleep."
that before. Night night. Somebody else used that night night with a pillow. And yeah.
Yeah, and he said he called himself Doctor Sleep. He's like, "I'm no longer the Bronze Bomber. I'm Doctor Sleep.
Ooh.
That I put people to sleep." He came up with
Ooh.
that all by himself, by the way.
Wow.
So he said that, and the interviewer goes to Parker and he said, "So Parker, are you gonna bring your pillow, as suggested by Deontay Wilder?" And let me show you what Parker said. Let me play it for you.
Don't ask me silly questions. Stupid question. On to the next one. Yeah, don't ask me silly questions. Stupid question. On to the next one.
I don't know if you could hear it, but he told him, "Don't ask me a silly question. That's a stupid question. On to the
Mm-hmm.
next one." And it was serious
Mm-hmm.
too. I
Oh,
never
for
seen
sure he
Parker
was
so.
serious.
I never seen him so serious. Parker, he was ready to knock that dude out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so he went in with, like, obviously he went to that ring with a chip on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
The whole world, the bookies, everybody just was predicting him to get knocked out. I predicted him to get knocked out. I'll be honest.
Wait, really?
I thought he was gonna knock Parker out, and
I'm disappointed in you.
Parker made me eat my words. I'll tell you that right now. He made a lot of
Good.
people eat their words.
Good.
A lot of people were served. I don't know what you ate in Mexico, but a lot of us were eating crow.
I didn't eat crow.
It was served cold, and we had to wash it down with water or something.
Man, I should have bet you.
Yeah. Joseph Parker controlled that fight from beginning to end. Most people gave him at least 11. Some gave him 12 rounds. I saw nobody give him less than 10 rounds. It was a complete shutout. And he took Deontay Wilder to school. That's the best way to put it. He gave him a boxing lesson, is what he did. Deontay Wilder was waiting all night for Parker to make a mistake, and it just wasn't going to happen.
Right hand, I bet.
And every time Wilder would wind up to throw it, you see, Parker didn't move away. Like, he actually moved towards Wilder and ducked and smothered him. And Wilder, it's like he was a fish out of water. He didn't know what to do. He was off balance. And around the 8th round, Joseph Parker lands a monster right hand, hurts Wilder. Wilder's holding on for dear life. And the last 3 rounds, I mean, Parker had his hands down, had no respect for Wilder at that point. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, to be honest with you.
Got in his head, Walter said.
Wilder didn't know what to do. He didn't even hurt him. And when he finally landed the right hand late in the fight, that Samoan ate it and just kept coming after him.
Wow.
Like, it was a wrap.
Wow.
Shout out to New Zealand. And he's Samoan as well. So shout out to Samoa and all that. Parker did his thing.
I love. We had some boxers from New Zealand come to Colorado. I love them. Amazing people.
What are your thoughts on Joseph Parker taking his dude to school?
I mean, I'm not surprised. Look, I give Wilder so much respect. He was a bronze medalist, and I know what it takes to even get to that point. I know what it takes, and he had to go through a lot of competition. But I've never been a huge fan of him because, in my opinion, he's not a boxer. He is a one-trick pony with his right hand. And he needs people to stand in front of him, and I've always said that. He's made it thus far with his right hand, and he was matched well, and that's what we were talking about earlier. It's business, and the people that he was matched with did stand in front of him until they didn't, until it was time to collect belts, and then you had to again fight like he probably did in the amateurs, whoever was in front of you. A lot of people have said, they think that he should retire. He's done. He's this. He's that. I'm not disrespectfully, but I believe that he will be a gatekeeper, quote unquote gatekeeper, because he is still a big name. He has done very much for the sport and in the sport. And anybody that fights him is gonna and beats him is gonna want to put him on their resume. I don't. Oh, should he retire? What do you think?
Well, look, Joseph Parker ruined all the plans here. The plan was for Joshua, who was successful, by the way, knocked out Wall in impressive fashion.
Yeah,
Um, I thought he would win, but he did better than I thought he would. But
yeah.
nonetheless, the plan was Wilder. Eddie Hearn even
And
said, "Look,
Joshua,
we had an
yeah,
agreement," and then he ruined the plans. But Joshua came out and he actually, to Joshua's credit, look, when Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz,
hmm,
it were quite frank. Wilder kicked him when he was down, like he did, right?
yes, he did.
And he did the same when he fought Usyk. It is what it is. Even when he
Yeah,
beat Parker, I don't know if you've seen the film where he's like making fun of Joshua for struggling against Parker, even though he won that fight. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
how ironic that now we come full circle and he lost every
It's
round of
very
Parker.
ironic. It's very ironic. That's why I believe. I mean, I think that everybody has to have their personality, and you have to sell fights, and there are certain things that you say and don't say. But also you just have to be mindful that one day you may be in the same position, and I don't know. Like I said, I guess I'm just being a mom, and don't fight dirty or whatever. But because it'll come back and bite you in your ass,
It could come
and
back
that's
and bite you in
exactly
the
what
ass.
happened.
And
That's exactly what happened.
well, in you would think Joshua would throw like shade back, but Joshua was actually pretty respectful, and he said, "Oh, Wilder will be
And he
back. He'll
is.
bounce back." Blah blah blah. And then
Yes. And he is.
and he actually said we could still do it. Like he said we could still fight.
Yeah, I mean, respect to him, and that's the thing. I mean, he is an Adonis in his country, and he is revered by many, and even facing defeat. He's no. I mean, I am not so thrilled or excited when he fights just because of the of his style. It's not for me exciting, but I respect him, and I will watch his fights because he finds a way to bounce back, and he'll fight anybody, he'll fight anyone. And for him to say that he would fight, Wilder, even though he lost, it's like, respect to him. He's going to put some cash in his pocket, if it happens.
Look, he did say in an interview. First and foremost, he wants to become heavyweight champion of the world again. That's his number one goal.
Hmm.
But he said, while I'm waiting, I wouldn't mind. Like Wilder's still a name, I'll still fight him. So
Yeah.
it
So,
is
and
what
we
it
would
is.
we would pay for it. We would pay for it. I would pay for it. Are you going to pay for it?
I would watch it. Yes.
I would watch it.
Nando is saying, what about AJ versus Ngannou? Probably more money than Wilder would have brought.
I mean, I agree as far as the more money, but I just have to respect, AJ for even saying that he would fight Wilder. Like I said, I mean, he'll give him another paycheck, and it's I respect that.
Zhang versus Parker. That's a very, very interesting fight. I actually wouldn't mind Parker versus Andy Ruiz in a rematch. I think that's a great fight as well.
Yeah,
What the hell is Andy
yeah,
Ruiz
those two
doing?
fights. I mean, what is he doing? Where's
I
he
don't
at?
know. I,
Do we know?
so, Christine, a couple years ago, Deontay Wilder had a quote, and the quote was, I just have to be perfect for 1 second. My opponents have to be perfect for 12 straight rounds.
Mm,
That just didn't work out this time. I don't know. That's a good
mm-mm.
game plan. Maybe you should have known to win rounds, brother. But do you think? Look, you mentioned earlier that he became a bronze medalist. You better than most know. Like it's not easy to even get to the Olympics. It's not easy to
It's
even
not.
medal in the Olympics.
No.
I don't want to say I do remember that match to try to get to the gold medal match where he got. I think it was an Italian, like really outboxed the shit out of him. I do remember that, but nonetheless, he became a bronze medalist. And do you think he's a product of a guy that fell in love with his power and instead of improving his boxing skills, he actually digressed? Yeah, like I actually went back and looked at some of his fights in the Olympics.
Hmm.
He boxed better then than he's boxing bet now. Like, he got worse.
Yeah, no, yeah, and I've done that too, and I agree with you. I think the thing is that once somebody meddles, you know, the people around them, which I think is just stupid, they so much don't want to be fired or, you know, for their gold medalist, bronze medalist, silver medalist, whatever it is, champion, to look for somebody else. And then they become divas. Not everybody, but a lot of them become divas. And I think that's what happened to Wilder, because I don't know, it was rumored, you know, that he didn't want to run, he didn't want to do this, he didn't want to do that. So the people around him did not have the fucking balls to say, no, you need to get your ass out there and do,
Except one.
except one. And look what happened, you know. So I'm just saying, I think it happens more commonly than not, because obviously, as a coach, yeah, who doesn't want to have an Olympian, or who doesn't want to have a world champion? I mean, absolutely. That is like the cream, you know, on top of the cake, you know. So, but when you, I mean, I'm not, whatever. I mean, of course, obviously, I would love the same things, but I think if you focus on having champions in life, then it naturally comes.
Mhm.
But it's discipline, it's obedience, it's all of that. You can't fucking lose your balls because you have a champion. No, if I tell you to do whatever, you need to fucking do it. Keep your hands up. You need a
I
box.
think the thing is this: his right hand, when set up properly, is really really good.
But
And
who's gonna fucking
I
stand in front of it? If I'm fighting you and I know that's all you
but
have,
here's what
and I'm not gonna stand in front of your ass.
I think the person that helped develop that right hand for him was Mark Breland.
Absolutely.
And so here he had probably the best amateur of all time, at least the U.S. amateur of all time.
Absolutely.
Here he has someone who's being honest with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw an interview of his shortly after all the accusation. He said, "Look, man, the reason he lost, he doesn't want to jump rope, he doesn't want to do road work, he doesn't want like he laid it all out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And you know, obviously the guy that keeps it real with you, he's not a yes man. Then it is what it is.
I love it. I love that.
You know,
I love it.
but he throws him under the bus. It keeps
Yeah,
JD's around.
and
Who
that
else does
happens too.
JD's train? Like, can somebody explain to me someone else that JD's has taken to the top?
Another yes man. That's what it is.
And can somebody
You,
tell me why Mark Breland gets blamed for everything, but the dude in the dressing room when they wrap Fury's glove didn't get blamed for anything?
it's whenever you have a spoiled brat, you know, that doesn't want to put their toys up or doesn't want to stop eating candy and doesn't want to eat their vegetables, they're gonna pick the person that doesn't make them do that stuff. It's just a spoiled brat mentality, and unfortunately, it does happen, you know. And then this is the outcome.
And I got to be honest. I think look, he did fight Fury, and you got to give him credit for that. However,
I mean, we'll give him credit for it.
but here's the thing: like, I don't think he expected Fury to recover the way he did. I just don't. I think that was a calculated risk, and I think they thought, this guy's been doing who knows what he's been doing to his body, abusing his body. You saw how Fury was in some of those pictures. I didn't think he was going to come back.
Yeah,
Like this guy's done with boxing. He ain't coming back, but he did come back,
he
and
sure did.
I don't think he expected that, and then his ego he couldn't let it go when he got away with a draw.
Never underestimate your opponent. Never. Never, ever, ever underestimate the person that is standing in front of you. I mean, look what happened with Robesi and Espinosa. Don't ever underestimate your opponent. And also, you have to fight every round like it's the winning round, because it is. It is. And you have to be able to go. If you're supposed to fight 12 rounds, you better be able to like go 14, you know, 10 rounds. You better be able to go 12. You know, don't ever underestimate your opponent, ever.
Deontay Wilder wanted people around. They're going to tell them that, hey, everything you're doing works, champ. You're the man. Bomb
Shit.
squad all day. Even when he does interviews, all they do is kiss his ass. He only does interviews with people that do favor for him.
Absolutely.
Alex Setback
Absolutely.
does a
Stroking
video.
people.
Alex Setback does a video. I want to thank Deontay Wilder for all the access. Like, who thanks fighters for that? Like, I mean, well, I don't know what the hell's going on, right?
You do know what's going on. Come on.
I
Come on.
mean, of
Come
course,
on. Come on.
I just don't like Deontay Wilder. Stop like he because Nestor Gibbs from the boxing shot to wouldn't say, yeah, Tyson Fury cheated and Mark Brilliant drugged you, right? Because he wouldn't say that. Like he stopped giving him interviews.
Well, there
I
you
mean,
go.
this is what happens when you surround yourself with people with a bunch of yes men.
Absolutely.
You don't get
Absolutely.
better. And you know what, Christine? After Fury knocked him out, instead of going back to the drawing board and improving as a fight like Parker did, Parker has losses. Guess what? He kept working. He stayed active. He got better, right? Like you see the opposite effect here. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
Wilder never improved. Like he
At
kept
all.
doing it. He kept doing interviews saying, "Oh, I'm still an undefeated fighter."
Yeah.
Like what?
And look, this is the thing too. I mean, even in what we do, neither one of us are perfect. Obviously, we have our own opinions, and some people think they're wrong or whatever. But you see so many times people doing podcasts or whatever, and they will downrate a fighter, downrate, and then when they do something great, they start kissing their ass, and then they want to interview. And these people remember that stuff. But
Oh,
to me, a professional, you go on wherever, whatever, to promote yourself.
I
So
mean,
Wilder might have been criticized by some, but you know what? Get on the podcast and let them talk it out.
yeah,
You
but
know,
Christine, this guy was doing he was saying things like, "I'm really undefeated. I haven't lost.
it's ridiculous.
I
It's
really
ridiculous.
knocked out Fury the first time, but they stole it from me. I don't need to fix
Ridiculous.
anything. I already knocked him out. Oh, I didn't really lose a second fight. He cheated. He had an egg weight in his glove. That's why I had a form of an egg
And
weight."
see, that's why the mental part of it, like for me, he might be physically strong, but mentally he is not. And that's okay because you can work on it. There's some of us that are not mentally strong, but we still have to be instructed or coached by our PR person, by our camp, by our corner, whoever, to say, you know what, this is what we're going to say, this is how we're going to say it. You don't just let people run off the rails.
Yeah. I think I had seen George Foreman because I know he had suspicions about his corner after the Ali fight. But he got over it and he realized, no, I lost because Ali outsmarted me in the fight, and that's it. And I have to
We
improve.
respect that. We respect
And
that.
that's it. You know what I mean? But all this stuff, none of that helped Wilder because he didn't go back and like work on himself and get better. Like
Yeah,
it
I
didn't
mean,
help him.
how many of us would respect these fighters after a loss? They come back and say, you know what, the better man won.
That's
But
it.
we hear the better man won, but I had an injury, but I was sick, but my girl, but this, but that. There's always these buts. Butts getting in the way.
They named it a day of reckoning. It was a day of reckoning for Deontay Wilder.
Well. You
And
ain't lying. You ain't
Deontay
lying.
Wilder, Deontay Wilder ruined the bag. Maybe they'll still fight, but I mean, I don't know what's going on. But it is what it is. Turkey Al Sheik was probably like, oh, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see what happens with all that. I would like to see. I'd rather AJ fight Zhang than Wilder at this point. That's my opinion.
I
Or
agree.
Hergovich.
Zhang, yeah, I would like to see that too.
That's right. That's right.
I would. I would.
Christine, this has been a great show.
Great
Uh,
show.
any final thoughts you want to give to the people?
Yeah, thanks to the chat, y'all are fucking awesome. Definitely. And of course to you, props to you, because you always do amazing things, and everybody needs to recognize that and follow you if they're not, which I'm sure they are. But tomorrow, Women Crushing It Wednesdays, we have many surprise guests coming on. And we're going to wrap up the year
Okay.
because there's a lot to talk about. And I'm hoping that D Style doesn't ghost me because he was also invited to be on that show. But we'll see though. But even if he's not, we've got some great surprise guests. So everybody please tune in 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
How does that Michael Jackson song go? I'll
Just
be
beat it.
there.
Okay, you'll be there. Okay, I'll say just beat it.
I'll be there.
Okay. All right.
But I want to everybody in I don't know the time yet, but tomorrow will be an ATP end of the year special. Should be something, and that is that. I want to thank everybody for tuning in.
I just hope you're not trying to go head to head with the girls.
We might go head to head with Christine, like, you know what I mean? They're like Monday Night Wars, but on Wednesday. But no, of course not. But I'm looking forward to. I'll definitely be on and all that stuff. So it is what it is. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. This is Steve Boxing, and for Christine, keep it boxing. We're out. Peace.
Peace.